on the highway, in the byways, all alone. I'm still searching for my home. Up in the morning, out on the road. Yeah, my head is aching, yeah, my hands are cold. And I'm looking for the silver lining in the clouds. And I'm searching for no philosopher's stone. And it's a hard road, daddy-o. When my job is turning lead into gold. It was born in the back street, Jelly Roll. I'm on the road again and I'm searching for the philosopher's stone. Can you hear that engine? Oh, can you hear that engine drone? Well, I'm on the road again and I'm searching for the philosopher's stone. Up on the morning, when the streets are white with snow. It's a hard road, daddy-o. Up in the morning, out on the job. Well, they've got me searching for the philosopher's stone. Even my best friends, they don't know that my job is turning lead into gold. When you hear that engine drone, I'm on the road again and I'm searching for the philosopher's stone. It's a hard road, even my best friends, they don't know. And I'm searching for the philosopher's stone.
Good afternoon, Coded Friend .001 listeners. How's everybody doing today? Monitors killed. We have sound. Everything's rolling good. Let me start just by saying thank you to Dan over at the Welsh News Network. Inadvertently, Dan, in your attempt to do what I'm going to discuss momentarily, you have driven to me quality people. Diarmid Costello, quality person. You drove him to me. Rebel at Heart, McAddicks, Laura Rader, Flo B. A lot of people have coalesced around the Coded Friend .001 because you drove them here, Danny boy, and they're interested in knowing just how low you will go. What a piece of shit you are. In the chat today, we have McAddicks, first place. Yes, NTFG. Flo B is with us. Scott Amos here. Alan Killian is here. Radius Hattis. We got W124 Mercedes. I don't have a Purple Heart is with us. Hey, everyone. NTFG. Kelly W is here. Has anybody seen Kaiser's Purple Hearts in here? Kaiser's Purple Hearts are not in here. Kaiser's Purple Hearts are non-fucking existent. Welsh News Now is with us asking, does anyone have a good home remedy for scurvy? And then follows up by saying, I already tried shoving a lime up me arse, but that didn't work. Diarmid Costello, as always, is with us. I'd be lost without Diarmid Costello. Loved him, man. Scott O's here. I think we already. The Flaccid Dangler is here. Shrinked balls shrinking. Flo B's with us. Can't wait to spend some time in Stevens Green. Oh, that's beautiful. Take a few pictures for us. McAddicks is on the roll. Who else is here? Walter Texas is with us, bright and early. Walter wants to know, what is FYM? That would be fuck you, McAddicks. There's a fuck you Rebel and a fuck you Diarmid floating around. And it's all based on Welsh News douchebags, fuck you Coded. Alan Killian says, Van the Man again? Alan, I could do Van in and out for a fucking year, man, every day. That motherfucker, Van Morrison, got more fucking hits than anyone I know. Started 64-ish with the group Them, Gloria, which became a rock and roll staple. Probably the most popular version is The Doors live at the Hollywood Bowl. And Van, in his mid to late 70s, is still putting out fucking music. Gotta like the guy. Speaking of new music, the Stones put out their first studio album in 18 years, and the initial release, Angry, is fucking amazing. If you haven't caught the video either, the video is just fucking beautiful, man. Great song, great visual accompaniment. Alan Killian says, but name the piano player. We'll leave that one open, see if anybody can get it. Misty Eyed Girl is here at codedfriend.001 and everyone else. Hello, beautiful humans. Walter Texas guesses Leon Russell on the piano. Is that a piano player guess? Kelly W has an FYW. Uh-oh. That better not be a fuck you, Walter. Hopefully not. Walter does not deserve that. Alan Killian guesses John Cleary. A lot of players, a lot of jazz players have backed Van Morrison. Van Morrison himself being a accomplished saxophone player, amongst other things, had the backing of Pee Wee Reese for a long fucking time. That dude can play. Scotto's with us. I think I got everyone. Coded Friend is here. Frog, there is an invite posted in the chat if you want to come up. I don't want to steal anybody's thunder. Logan Sandman's here with us. Highest Priestess is here. Laura Rader is here with a hashtag NTFG collective greetings to all chatters. So Last Summer is with us. Yay, I made it. Less than 2 hours late. Hello, friends. Hello, So Last Summer 7. Frog UK Transparency, a.k.a. Fucked, is here. Frog is also in the background. I'm going to add him to the stage. I tried to unmute your microphone. Whenever you're ready, Frog, unmute. Welsh News Now is with us. Once in a dream, far beyond these castle walls. Becca's Neglected Toy is here. Dan drove me here too.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Frog. We are all. Kimmy is with us. Why don't you people just leave my man Wrangler alone? Fuck Wrangler. Wrangler gonna get what's coming to him. Let me just roll through these through the chat. Make sure I said hello to everybody. I think I've gotten everybody. Buddy is with us. Get on with the Wrangler stuff. Relax, buddy. Chill. It's all about building the arc, making that anticipation before the pop. That's what we're looking for. Hello, baby. And Michael McDaniel, greetings from the home of Capricorn Records. Sweet. Throw some tunes once in a while. All right, I think we've gotten everybody who's here. Frog, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Doing good, thanks, Coded.
A little bit late or early in the day for you over there, huh?
No, it's 6:15 p.m.
There you go. Are you an early riser?
Recently I've been a late sleeper.
Late
riser.
Late riser. Nice. Shiz is with us too. What up, Playboys? Got a Jammin' Jet in the room also. Good afternoon, everyone from Jammin' Jet. Good afternoon, Jammin' Jet. So, Frog, you uncovered some information.
I may have, yes, with the help of someone else, yes.
He may have, with the help of Shiz.
Maybe, yes.
Danny boy, you fucking, you're playing a strange game with the wrong fucking people, dude. Let me preface just a little bit here. Way back, June, late June, early July, I think it was, Dan outed Wrangler as a criminal with a lengthy criminal record and charges pending. Shortly after that, I received an email from Falcax and Wrangler stating that part of their agreement with actually this was before the outing of Wrangler. Part of their agreement in the breakup of Playboys in Crime and the resultant bad blood and hurt feelings and fucking blah 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 to fucking, I don't know, smooth the brain of which of fucking Attic Fires, who was deeply hurt by Falcax and Wrangler wanting to do their own thing. And anyway, after the breakup of all that and the Jeremiah Payne fucking nonsense and fallout and Dan, volunteering to be the arbiter of peace and truth, took advantage of a situation and set up what I believe was a long play troll, buddy troll, Wrangler, and possibly Falcax. Kind of sure Falcax was involved, to discredit both myself and Shiz. Now, why would Dan want to do that? Would Dan want to do that because he got called out on the FBI as after Chili shit? And then when he denied that he ever said that he had a contact at the FBI, Shiz painstakingly went through his videos and fucking screenshotted, documented, and time marked all the fucking times that Danny Boy, the Welsh window licker, Dildan, the jelly god, keep praising your fucking jelly god over there, you fucking blurka boys. Dan's got a bone to pick with Shiz because Shiz seriously discredited the man. And recently, Dan went on a little fucking tirade against Shiz and Stoned Vet about how their research was insufficient. Blah blah blah. We're chasing down a lot of fucking leads over here, Danny Boy. A lot of leads. We're checking them all. We're not like you, dude. We didn't just get a gossipy rumor from Frauditor Reaper and run with that when you outed Wrangler. You outed Wrangler to cover for Frauditor Reaper and to take the focus off her. That's what you fucking did. You had the information on Wrangler a month before. That's what you do. You're not out to help anybody. You're not out to pursue the truth. You're out to hold shit over people's heads to extort them, to get them to do dirty shit for you. And then Wrangler and Falcax showed up on my doorstep after they made peace with you. And I have the fucking email. They told me straight up that part of their agreement for you to leave them alone was that they take an in-depth, serious look at me. I'm a fucking dirt farmer, dude. What is there to look at? I'm a dirt farmer. Right now, currently, for the past decade or so, my expertise has been in prepping soil, regenerating dead, burnt out agricultural land. That's what I have an expertise in. Oddly enough, though, this expertise on physically growing plants, a lot of it translates through into the cultivation of information. So during this whole latest round of Wrangler shit, because when Wrangler did his apology thing, I did offer my support to Wrangler. I did tell Wrangler that as long as he told the truth, he would have my backing. And as things have gone down, I have not really participated. I've said I've done a broadcast or two here and there. I've not covered anything near what I could cover. And I've pretty much been in the background, done a little steering, asked pertinent questions when I felt the time was right to ask them. One of those questions being, I asked Falcax in a very limited, secure voice chat on Discord if he had ever verbally spoken with Kimmy Wrangler, aka Kimmy Dawn, aka Kimmy Dawn Kennedy. Falcax had indicated that he had not. He had never seen her, nor had he verbally spoken to her, and that all the interactions between them were by text. Now, there were financial interweavings between Wrangler, Falcax, and Kimmy Wrangler, including, transfer of small dollar amounts of money via PayPal, whatever, to, bridge shortfalls and shit like that. You're loaning people money. Granted, it's small amounts. You're loaning a person money. You've never seen this person. You've never seen what they look like. You've never verbally talked to them. You've only ever traded text messages and you're floating small dollar loans. It seems kind of weird. And some of the shit was Wrangler contacting Falcax, asking Falcax to PayPal money to Kimmy, and Wrangler would, send it back in the morning, blah, blah, blah. Be careful with these guys. It's phishing. It's how they get your contact information, your account names, and then it's, working on cracking fucking passcodes.
Coded.
Go ahead.
I sent you a DM on Discord with a screen grab. I don't know if you want to keep on going, or shall we start with that screen grab?
Do you want me to show this, or do you want to present this yourself?
You can show that screen grab. Yes.
Okay. We will throw it up as an overlay here. Let me get that downloaded. Got it.
Today was an interesting day because I just wanted to have a look at the current status of Michael Kaiser's case.
Okay.
And I don't have a US address, and the Alabama court system is behind a paywall. So I needed someone to, help me do that.
Right.
And I was just looking for an update on the criminal case. That's all I was looking for. But I found something very unexpected. And if you can pull up that screen grab.
Give me just a second. I'm grabbing it right now. I had to do a rename so I could find it a little easier. And it's uploading, and boom, there it is.
Okay, so you tell from the very top right-hand corner, you can tell that this is a screen grab from Welsh News Network.
Okay.
It was his outing stream of Michael Kaiser. So that's where this screen grab comes from. Now, can you go down to sort of the book? Can you pull it up? And jamming jets in the way, I think, of what I want to have a look at.
Let me get rid of jamming jets comment. Hide that comment. Let me bring it up in a browser, and I think I can.
Well, that's all right. I can see it here, so I can explain it. If we go down to defendant information, you'll notice Kaiser Michael William, then a 2, then lots of X's for the address 1, then lots of X's for address 2.
Yeah.
And for date of birth, you'll notice 05XX 1981.
Correct.
And I think everyone assumed, well, I believe everyone assumed, that it's an incorrect assumption. And this is a warning that we mustn't make incorrect assumptions, because there are untrustworthy people out there who have an agenda.
Correct.
The XX on the date of birth, I believe, from what I did today, was not there on the original document that Dan of Welsh News Network got. Now, I'm assuming that he got this document probably from Becca. It's possible someone sent it to him with the XX on, and I'm blaming Dan incorrectly, but I doubt it. I assume he's seen the original document. And that original document has a date of the birthday of Michael William Kaiser.
Let me interrupt you 1 second. Dan chastised Shiz and Stoned Vet when they missed the date originally and searched the DOD database and came up with no result, no result, no result, no result. In chastising them, Dan berated and belittled them, saying all you had to do was look at the court records and you would have known the birth date. So Dan did know the birth date. And I would say if Dan didn't actually alter this document, then he was privy to the fact that the document had been altered, because
Correct.
he clearly, in chastising Shiz and Stoned Vet, said that the birth date was present on the court document.
And that date of birth has obviously been extremely important, or will, and this is now I'm looking to the future, will be extremely important in finalizing the story of Michael William Kaiser's military career.
Yes. Now, Laura Rader in the chat points this out. Great eyes, Laura Rader. The Social Security X out uses capital X's.
Exactly. Now, Laura, we'd spotted when I was looking at this first. I don't know if she wants to say, well, you've sort of given away who, yeah, it's correct. That's what we spotted. Small X's. But none of us spotted that. None of us.
Mm.
It does show the ability of people to misdirect.
Yep.
And why would they misdirect? That's what I can't figure, apart from they themselves have hidden agendas. And I'll say it here, the hidden agenda is making money. I mean, that's what it's all about for them. They have a hidden agenda, and they don't want people to know about them. I mean, obviously, once Wranglers' military record is obtained in, as much as can be obtained legally, but will, most of his stories will be found out to be lies. I think we know that now.
Right.
But there is a very strong reason as to why Dan doesn't want Kaiser's military record to come out, because Dan himself has told stories about his military record, and he doesn't want the truth of his military record to come out because probably he's telling lies.
Yeah.
Well, I say probably. The story about the brains on his childhood best friend or whatever it is.
His best friend from childhood, who is in the British Army ground forces, his brains were blown all over Dan's uniform, a Navy boy who is on a boat.
Now, I don't think, me personally, I don't think I've made many claims about myself anywhere on YouTube, on my channel, about me, about who I am, about my past. I mean, I have no criminal record. That's a claim that I'll make because I'm sitting here in the UK. You probably won't be able to find it if you know who I am. But I'm not really basing my channel on claims about my past. And I do not talk about, me going to war and, killing 100 people and, having my leg shot off and reattached and being able to walk. I don't talk about things like that.
Right.
But I don't have an agenda of trying to con people out of money. But I think a lot of these channels, that's their agenda. Now, this information, I'm annoyed, actually. I'm very annoyed that other creators in this sphere, and if we say we're on sides, if there are sides, if there's an anti-auditor side, they have not, and they've had the information, and they've got way more funds from YouTube than I've ever got. They haven't gone and looked up Michael William Kaiser by themselves. And there's,
right.
I mean, how many channels featured Michael Kaiser? Come on, you guys. You've got to come out, get off the fucking fence, and You created this problem. Deal with it. Because otherwise, you yourselves, and I'm looking at some big channels here, bigger than me, you yourselves will come under the microscope. Because people will start thinking, why didn't they? Why haven't they? And the reason is, and I'll tell you the reason, I can't attack him because him and me have the same donors. We have the same members. So if I attack him, I'm risking my money.
Right.
And I'm sorry, you are holding yourselves out. You are holding yourselves out as being good people, attacking. I mean, I mainly call auditors auditors. I don't call them frauditors. I think probably most of these are newcomers to the scene. We probably came up with the word frauditor when we were talking about News Now Patrick, who are outright frauditors. But there are auditors who aren't frauditors. I mean, I don't know a lot about Georgia Transparency. I do not know a lot about him. That probably says something, that it basically doesn't break the law, because it's the ones that break the law or incur criminal charges anyway that I'm interested in. So he's probably not a bad guy. He may, push the envelope of the First Amendment, but that's the laws in your country. You are able to upset people and get a response.
Yeah.
They are not breaking the law. It may not be, the behavior that you want, but they're not breaking the law. But we've got this guy, Michael William Kaiser, who, and I'm going to say it, well, I don't know what to say here. Possibly, I'm going to say possibly. I'm not going to go to probably because I don't know.
Can I say it? Yeah.
Possibly murdered someone.
Right.
Possibly. That has never gone to trial. No one has been convicted of that offence.
The case is still being investigated.
Exactly. It's a decade-old case. Now, criminals can get away with things. It's how both of our systems are set up. Innocent until proven guilty. Beyond reasonable doubt. It protects, criminals can get away with things. The systems are set up that we'd rather let a guilty man go free than imprison an innocent man. Both systems, aren't they?
Right.
That's the way they're set up.
Right.
It enables criminals to get away with crimes.
Yep.
But that's what we decide. It has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. But there is sufficient, there is doubt about whether or not he is a murderer. So that's one. All the felonies that he's committed recently, they're not decades old. They're not felonies like, they keep on saying, well, Team Skeptic has got a past. But Team Skeptic has really owned all his past.
Yeah.
He got drunk with his friend, I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, but this is, as far as I know, Team Skeptic. He got drunk with a friend, got in a car, caused an accident, and the friend lost his life.
Correct.
I mean, can you imagine the guilt that you feel from doing that?
I said that when Chili brought it up. Now I have had a substance abuse problem. I drove drunk all the fucking time when I was drinking, and by some quirk of fate, I never hurt anyone or damaged property. But I easily could have. I had close calls. I easily could have been in the same position that Skeptic was in. I believe Skeptic stood trial or took a plea on the charges against him, and I believe he paid his debt to society, and he moved on, and he's you know, he lost a lifelong friend in the incident, but he has come out the other end a better man. I give all the props in the world to Skeptic. He, you know, he took a really shitty situation and he fucking turned it around, which is why when you have such a clear example of Skeptic having a fucking serious life problem, owning it, handling it properly, and moving on and growing because of it. Why would you sit and pile lie on top of fucking lie on top of fucking lie? Why would you be a Dan from Welsh News Network who's actually enabling the fucking, not only enabling, but encouraging the lie pile to grow to benefit himself?
Exactly.
I firmly believe that Dan has all this information on Wrangler and he's been using it to involve Wrangler in a scheme to discredit Shiz and possibly myself. Because when Wrangler got outed by Dan, he came running to Shiz. And then he wound up contacting me.
It's just such a weird sense of morality that these people have. And you know, it's, to me it's obvious, but obviously to those that continue to pay and continue to watch, it isn't obvious. And I think, did Shiz say it on Stone Vet's stream yesterday, or was it Stone Vet? I can't remember. One of them said something like, well, if they're still supporting them, you know, they're so foolish, there's nothing you can do about them. You know, that's where we are with this and this guy.
Hey man, people not only packed up all their shit for Jim Jones, and I'm going out to an extreme example here, but people not only packed up all their shit in California at the request of Jim Jones and moved themselves to fucking Guyana. That's a big fucking pull, right? Not only did he get that done, but he got them all to kill themselves when the fucking hammer was about to come down. So never underestimate the willingness of people to follow.
See, I don't want to do drama. I don't particularly enjoy this. I'd far rather just be, you know, reporting the arrests and doing what I do. But there are some times when you've got to stand up and be a man. And I'm saying, you know, if there are content creators out there who happen to watch You Coded, you know, I'm talking about channels bigger than you and I.
Right.
Stand up, be men. Don't worry about the effect it's going to have on your subscribers.
Yeah, please stop turning a blind eye to this bullshit. And all you fucking guys out there, there are a lot of you fucking guys out there that don't particularly care for what's going on at Welsh News Network, but you're sitting there with your fucking hands folded.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you had this guy up on your panels. You gave him credibility. You let him tell his stories. You let him tell his military stories on your channels.
Right. Right.
And you didn't, I mean, I'm not saying not everyone is, you know, we all have different levels of intelligence. That's what, well, you'd say the good Lord gives us coded.
Correct.
You know, and some of the, you've got degrees, haven't you? Anyway, you went to university, didn't you?
Finance and major in finance, minor in philosophy.
Yeah. Mine is accounting and financial management is my degree. Then post qualification, you know, post degree qualifications as well. You know, some of us are a little more intelligent than others. That's just right. That's just what happens, you know.
And listen. Also, just because we're smart in niche areas. Yeah, like I'm smart. All the bullshit with Merb and the back and forth we've had lately and the chiding each other, I don't know shit about the law. I really don't. I mean, I know it superficially. I know the fucking fundamentals, but I don't know the intricates, the details, or the way things are defined in legal terms are often different than what you would common sensely think of. So,
And while we're talking about the law,
yeah,
there's someone I'd like to mention
go ahead.
who is giving him credibility. Channel or her YouTube is AZ Jeep Girl, I believe.
AZ is for Arizona.
Yeah, AZ Jeep Girl.
And
apparently she's a lawyer,
a real estate attorney.
And Wrangler goes and discusses with her if he's got any doubts about the law.
Right.
Well, I think Merb the other day, cracked his knowledge of the law wide open. If you're gonna do a roast to someone, Merb did the legal roast of Wrangler. But
Right.
You've got AZ Jeep Girl who says she is a lawyer, backing him up in his chat. Now, what's going on? What backhanders are being, he's obviously, we know he paid his producer. Who else is he paying? Who else is involved in this scam? And this scam now has big eyes on it.
Yeah.
Federal eyes on it.
Right. Where's the fucking money coming from?
And be careful, you people, because you could go down with him. You could have the feds knocking on your door saying, please tell us, you got to tell us this or we're going to prosecute you as part of the scheme.
Yeah, there is. I have no doubt at this point in time that Michael William Kaiser is guilty of stolen valor. And that valor stealing is for commercial gain, for profit. That's a big fucking deal.
See, Walter, Texas, Laura, now I think AZ Jeep Girl is a good girl. See, I've no idea. All I see is her being mentioned by him as the legal advisor of the Audit Wrangler empire. What's in it for her? Has he conned her? Maybe. Right. Maybe she's been conned by him. Maybe she's stupid.
Right.
Coded, there's intelligence, but there's also common sense.
Yeah,
and you don't have to be intelligent to have common sense.
Right. You can be intelligent and not have common sense.
Exactly.
You can be highly intelligent and on street level things completely fucking gullible.
We had we'd have people get the qualification, be employed with the qualification, and you soon find out that they might have the qualification, but they ain't got any common sense, and you get rid of them as quickly as you can.
Right. And
because you want people, in business, you want intelligence plus you want common sense.
Right. You want people who know how to implement the intellect. Yeah. I know plenty of people who can, figure out problems on paper, but can't implement solutions in reality. Let me address something really quick, and it's pertinent to what we're talking about. Laura Rader in the chat says, I fully expected Frauditor Troll to fall for Wrangler because he is super gullible. He's proved that on a couple of occasions. But it honestly hurts me if Dummy Kruger jumped on the Wrangler bandwagon. Someone said there were comments in Stoned Vets chat. I'm going to own that. I brought it up in my last broadcast yesterday. Dummy Kruger is a listener. He was listening to the broadcast. After I concluded the broadcast, I had a Discord DM from Dummy Kruger. Dummy Kruger was concerned not about what I said, although I'm going to apologize. After I talked to Dummy Kruger, Dummy Kruger's completely fucking aware and he's given no credence to Wrangler whatsoever. Wrangler almost drafted in the back door on Dummy Kruger's live because of his association with KFAR and Frauditor Troll. when Dummy Kruger found out what was going on around Wrangler, he put the kibosh on Wrangler participating immediately. So my hat's off to Dummy Kruger for taking the right step, being cautious. And I apologize if the way I said anything or my demeanor implied that you got caught up in the fucking Wrangler horse shit. That is not true. Dummy Kruger put the fucking axe on that really quick. So my hat's off to Dummy Kruger. He's smarter than I gave him credit for being.
That's good. That's good to hear, because I get on with Dummy Kruger, and
he's a great guy, man. He really is.
He
really is.
And some of these channels, they're basically entertainment channels at the end of the day, and their given subject is these idiots with a camera in their hand. But sometimes factually they can be wrong.
Yeah, we all make mistakes. Look, when Dan had an opportunity to wag the finger at Shiz and Stoned Vet and chastise them a little bit because Wrangler floated bad information. He intentionally floated a wrong birth date.
Mm-hmm.
Now, looking at Dan's concealing of the birth date on these records, and Dan's going to say, well, it's because we didn't want to dox them. And if you look at that document, all the lowercase x's is information that Dan hid. So Dan facilitated Wrangler's deception by knowing the right birth date and working actively to conceal it.
Now, I think it is over 7 days now since Dan said, I'll release the information in 7 days.
Well, what Dan actually said, and this is the weaselly nature of Dan. Dan said he wouldn't open the PDF until 7 days, meaning Dan wouldn't, not that Dan was going to present it in 7 days, but that Dan himself wasn't even going to look at it. Now,
bullshit.
But that's the weaselly way that Dan talks, because Dan's buying time for Wrangler. Because Dan's
if you can open your Christmas present early, you open it early.
Right. I agree with that. I have 100% agree with that.
You don't sit there with the PDF and don't open it. That's not human nature at all, and that's definitely not Welsh News Network human nature.
But there's a broadcast that happened.
GMK lawyer at law is asking, who is Dan? Dan is the head honcho of the News Now network.
Welsh News
Network. Sorry,
News Now is a little play on. It's Welsh News Network.
News Network. It's a 7-hour-a-day program with lots of silence,
lots of sexual perversion.
Yeah, mainly use. I mean, they possibly a fair use. They go very close to the line of fair use as Welsh News Network. Making money on the backs of others, as people would say.
Yeah, and
I wish Shuggy would take a step back.
Yeah.
I mean, I've contacted Shuggy. I'm going to say it, Shuggy. You've had about 5 days now to respond to me, and you haven't bothered. And what did I say? I said, shall I tell you what I sent to Shuggy? I shouldn't divulge direct messages, but it's not a direct message conversation because he hasn't responded. So,
well, if you're the one that sent it, you can.
Yeah. I said, Shuggy, we need to talk about the incorrect information about English and Welsh law being stated on a YouTube channel you frequent. Because obviously the Welsh News Network does feature some UK auditors. And I hear Dan say things that are just so wrong. I'll give you 2 examples. One example, if someone's, because he says he's got this country estate, bullshit. He says he's got this country estate, and if someone trespasses on his estate, he's entitled to fire his shotgun at them. Bullshit. He will be in prison for doing that. And I didn't like it because there may be someone who thinks, well, I'll come over there and I've got a bit of money. American dollar does far better than I've just lost my monitor. Hang on. American dollar does far better than the UK pound. You can probably pick up some real estate here, nice little gaff, and get your shotgun, and you can shoot all these people who are walking on your property. No, you can't. But Dan tells people you can. It's dangerous.
Right.
He says you can't film children in public. There's lots of laws, that you can't film children. You can't film children. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I mean, I can go, say I went down to the beach today, where there probably could have been, the odd naked child down there. If I happen to catch them in my photo, I've not committed any criminal offence. I've taken a public photo. Yeah, they'd be, yards away from me. But, if you're listening to Dan, that's a criminal offence. No, it isn't.
Right.
I mean, it's obviously a criminal offence if you intentionally go and photograph naked children. I mean, you probably they'd look in your phone and see, or whatever, and see lots of pictures of naked children, and then they'd have you. But basically, innocent photos of children in public or in a public place, like a public, a limited public forum in the States, perfectly legal.
Well, the city of London's full of CCTV. But state sponsored. They're monitoring everyone that walks by.
Yeah. I'll tell you an example. We watched a bicycle race go past. We were a national or international race. It was going past where I was with a group of people. We went out to watch it, and we were all filming it. And then this group of nursery kids came out, and one of the nursery kids leaders says, you can't take photos of the race because you might catch one of our children. They may be on a at-risk, register." And of course, sorry, that's your problem. You brought the child out into public.
Right.
If someone catches that child when they're, watching the race go by, it's nothing. That's what you put them in that situation. And of course, there's no danger from someone taking an innocent snap of that child. It's just ridiculous. But that's that. That would be Dan. He'd be the one saying that you can't take pictures of children. Frog fixed his chair. I probably fixed my mic more. My chair is still squeaking.
No, I haven't heard. Well, I haven't heard it.
It is still squeaking. I don't know. I'm going to have to get a new chair, aren't I?
It's
how is the mic, by the way?
It sounds good. I like your mic a lot. It's better than your original mic. You were a little muddy in the.
Yeah. I've got a new set. What I am impressed with is I've not got headphones on. You're coming through a speaker to me.
Oh, cool. There's no echo back, no feedback at all.
Yeah.
So we have the right birthday for Michael Kaiser. It's 5/18/1981.
You did it.
I did it.
I was going to say, have you got a song for 18?
Oh.
Or have you got an imaginary child who's got an 18th birthday?
Right. I'm not worried. I think the truthful nature of the information is more important. I also wanted to mention that when Dan was chastising Shiz and Stone Devet for not getting the right information from the DOD database because Michael Kaiser intentionally floated an incorrect birth date. This is days before Dan revealed on a live broadcast that he had received by email the DOD report, which he acted like was a spontaneous thing, the receiving of it during a live broadcast. A few days prior to that, Dan had actually given the exact same information that Shiz and Stoned Vet came up when they had what they thought was the proper birth date, 5/13. Dan gave that exact information verbatim. So Dan, while chastising Shiz and Stoned Vet, gave the exact information that Stoned Vet gave in his DOD, his corrected DOD report, which actually happened with the wrong date of birth, 5/13.
It's, why were they doing it? Well, I know why. I've said why they were doing it, because they're scared that once the attention's off Wrangler, the attention might go somewhere else.
But that's further proof that Dan has known the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
See,
and
Dan,
he could have given that information. It didn't have to be to Stone Vet. Him, or, I mean, isn't she a widow of some serviceman?
I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about Kimmy.
I think she says, maybe someone in chat will confirm, or I'm sure I've heard a rumor that's how, isn't that how she knew? Yeah, Becca. Did I say Becca, or did I say another name?
But you said Kimmy. Becca is,
Becca.
Becca's.
Sorry, Becca. I meant Becca.
Becca's husband passed early, I believe, maybe due to cancer.
So one would assume that she has some military contacts.
Right.
She could have gone down that military route of, once she had the date of birth, of confirming things and putting a stop to the defrauding people out of money.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that is what this is about. I mean, I saw the other day, I don't hold Schrodinger's cat on the pedestal that a lot of people seem to hold Schrodinger's cat. I don't hold him, on a pedestal. It's sad that he's gone, but like all men and women, we all have flaws. People would have put Virgo Triad on a pedestal until her flaws were all outed. Yeah, I don't really like pedestals.
Yeah, I think it's dangerous to elevate men.
Yeah, and everyone, but he got a donation of $49.99 or $50 through a super chat. I've no idea why someone sends $50 through a super chat. Why they don't do a $5 super chat and a $45 PayPal donation.
That's the church mentality. That's what That's what the church did to Western culture. You're a big shot if you put fat money in the collection basket.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And it's a way to get the YouTube creator to not only recognize you as a listener, but to be beholden to you. You can gain control over a YouTube creator by donations. Dan did that in the beginning. Dan went around when I called out Tina Slay originally for the lies she was telling. Here's another fucking case. Tina Slay went on a YouTube fucking tour. She hit all of the fucking big channels. She was telling people that the DEA agents shot her son up with methamphetamine after they killed him. Nobody fucking questioned it. Nobody questioned it. Tina went and told, but Tina was bashing Chili, so Tina got away with saying whatever the fuck she wanted to say about the details of her son's case, most of which don't jive with the fucking official reports and the witness statements. But her cover for herself is, well, there are witnesses that the police never interviewed. Why didn't the police interview these fucking witnesses? No one ever even asked that fucking question. They just gave Tina carte blanche to say whatever the fuck Tina wanted to say about the specifics of her son's death because she was bashing the fuck out of Chili. And a lot of the shit she was bashing Chili for, I hate to fucking say it at this point in time, it ain't fucking true about Chili. Chili put pictures of my minor daughter on the internet. Yeah, Chili showed the whole fucking video. You pretty much left your daughter in a fucking room with Chili for hours while Chili put together a fucking promotional board for your son, and Tina was nowhere to be fucking found. She rolled in at the end of the project when it was complete. Then afterward, a month afterward, months afterward, weeks afterward, she's criticizing Chili for posting the video because her minor daughter was in it. You fucking left her with him. Where the fuck was Tina? Nobody asks any fucking questions because they're getting what they want. Chili bashing. I'm not supporting Chili. I'm pointing out the fucking dynamic here. When these people say our side, they fucking mean our side. When these YouTube creators talk about this side, that side, the auditor side, the frauditor side, the exposer side, they're talking about real fucking sides. And if you're on their side, they don't give a shit if you're telling the fucking truth or not. And then you have this thing like fucking Wrangler happen, where Wranglers for months been defrauding people out of fucking money with stolen valor stories, and Dan's known about it the whole time, and he's sitting there with his fucking thumb up his ass because Dan won't call anyone out for stolen valor because Dan himself is fucking stolen valor. Sue me, Dan. I just defamed you. If you are what you say you are, Dan, then I just defamed you. Sue me.
I see Merbeast has just made a comment about, the guy on the pedestal, Schrodinger's cat. But these channels feel that we all have this thing that you mustn't say bad things about a dead man, and we know at the funeral it's everything. It's the good that's told. It's the good that's told. But you can't. He wasn't Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you notice that Wrangler's oblique reference to "I'm a Christian" yesterday?
Oh, did he really?
When he talks about the Roman guard hammering nails into the cross.
I didn't catch his broadcast yesterday.
I probably caught it on SV.
I've intentionally kept myself a little away from Wrangler.
Yeah, I struggle to listen. I don't find him entertaining, to be perfectly honest.
Wrangler? No, I don't either.
I don't find him entertaining, so I don't know why people watch him in the first place. And it's all I, and all these mams and brothers, and it's just juvenile stupidity. But it's juvenile stupidity that needs to be shut down for a fraud. That's what needs to happen. Because I always think the person who is giving the money, who can't really afford to give it, that's the person I care about. Hello?
I'm here. I'm listening. I was going through some of the chat messages.
Were you going to put up the real document, or are we just going to let people believe that we've got the real date? I don't know. I'm not forcing you to put it up.
You're going to show the real document, right?
Am I? Well, no. I was going to show it by mistake, because what YouTube are like with dates of birth, it's an easy privacy strike.
Right.
So I'll tell you what I was going to do, and I still may do it, and I've outed myself on here. I was going to have both documents, the redacted one on one tab and the non-redacted one on another tab, and I was going to accidentally show the unredacted one before quickly switching to the redacted one. That's what I was going to do. And then he could strike me for a date of birth thing, and YouTube would, you know, just give me a slap on the wrist. There wouldn't be any, but they might take the video down for that. But then you could just re-put it up with the redacted one on. But it is, you know,
can just
happy 18th birthday.
Right.
18. I know there was a song about 19. I'm trying to think about 18.
Hey 19 is a Steely Dan tune.
Yeah.
I would just make a vague reference that May the 18th, 1981 was a particularly good year for Merlot or a Chardonnay.
Yeah.
If you can get a bottle of wine, I might go back and fix the audio on this now. If you can get a bottle of wine from vintage May the 18th, 1981, that would be a great fucking bottle of wine. I also can honestly say, I'm pretty sure I was at a Rolling Stones concert, the Still Life Tour, 1981, and I believe the date was May the 18th. Mm-hmm. Yeah, May the 18th is an important date.
It's the day before my son's birthday, actually.
Nice.
It's the day before. The 18th of May is the day before my son's birthday. I think. It's the day after. Yeah, I can't even.
Day after.
It's the day after. Sorry, it's the day after his birthday.
It's all right.
I gave the wrong date of birth for my son. There you go.
It's all right.
I lied about it.
You're a dad. We're supposed to fuck that shit up.
Yeah.
Mom doesn't get a pass. Mom needs to know. Dads get a little bit of leeway. As long as you're in the right week, you're okay as a dad.
Mums see you next Tuesday, but there you go.
That happens too, my friend. Never to the child, though. Only to the siblings.
But the stupid thing is that we just. I mean, I wasn't looking for his date of birth. I was not today looking for his date of birth. In fact, when we first saw the document, we didn't zero in on the date of birth. It was like, you see, he's got his right date of birth there. That's it. We weren't looking for his date of birth because we assumed, incorrectly, that Dan at least would make sure that people knew the fucking date of birth so that they could do research on this person.
Right. Well, Dan could have sent a DM. He could have contacted people on Discord.
Yeah. Or as I say, through Becca, contacted the military and found out that he was a con artist.
Dan has the right military records. He's had them. Dan's had the records for a while now. He's been sitting on them.
Yeah. I see Dan's live stream, or Dan's static. It was on the 16th of July. So we're almost 2 months. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting on towards 2 months. We haven't had part 2. Have we?
No, and we're probably never going to get part 2 because Dan won't call anyone out for stolen valor because Dan himself is stolen valor. Go ahead and fucking sue me, you Welsh waterhead.
Merv, if you want, I'll send you the PDF. I don't know if you're interested in the original PDF. Which wasn't handed to me. I got it straight off the system.
Yeah, Laura Rader correctly says Dan wouldn't dare touch Wranglers' military records because Dan is terrified of people prying into Dan's military records.
Well, that is so much more difficult to do here. So he knows he's safe, but what his problem is he's told, stories that are way beyond imagination. It's a bit like I've compared Kaiser a bit to News Now Houston. There's a little bit of truth and a hell of a lot of a lie.
Right. And I think Dan's been leveraging the fact that he has the truth about Wrangler to he used Wrangler to try to attempt to discredit Shiz, because he's I hate to say it, but well, I won't say butthurt, but I'll say his hiney hole is sore from the shafting that Shiz gave him when she documented all the fucking times that Dan did in fact say that his source was the FBI.
Now, I do wonder if today's news is going to come something of a shock to Wrangler, because I doubt Wrangler himself paid the dollars to get behind the paywall to get the information about the date.
Right.
So he possibly thought, I'm in the clear because my date of birth has got an XX on it.
Even if he was right. Even if he thought and that might have been part of Dan's deception to embolden Wrangler. Nobody can find out your birth date. Here's the records, don't have your birth date on it.
Yeah.
It's been redacted.
Yeah. And there's a Michael William Kaiser, born apparently on the 8th of May or something, who was in the military.
Right. There's quite a few. There's a couple. Shiz and I, looking just cursory a couple days ago, we found a couple of Michael Kaisers. There's actually a really good Michael Kaiser in the Army, but still, I think today he's a teacher at Fort Hood. Was it, Shiz? Very highly respected. So, and there's another Michael Kaiser that we identified, but he's in the Navy. There's a few that are still active duty, and there's a few that are retired.
We can confirm, unless Kaiser had face surgery to make him look like I almost said a murderer there. Freudian slip. Look like a possible murderer whose photo was widely available. Unless he had sort of plastic surgery to, I think we can, with certainty say that the Michael Kaiser that we see on screen is the same Michael Kaiser that was arrested on suspicion of murder. I know we can't believe a word that comes out of his mouth, but I think we can believe that word. So I think we're zeroed in, and the date of birth of that Michael Kaiser happens to be a day in May after my son's birthday, which is the 17th of May.
That's a great way to put it. Maybe I should go back and block out when I just blatantly said May the 18th.
I don't know. What happened on May the 18th, 1981? I think it was Falkland War time, if I remember correctly.
Was that it? I remember that vaguely. Was that around the Falkland War time?
Yeah, I think that might have been.
I know the Stones' Tattoo You album came out in 81, and they were touring the Still Life tour after that.
Let's have a look.
ATARS also, with the date of birth May 18, 1981, has the information that shows our hero turned anti-hero turned villain medicaled out of boot camp.
This is a good one. Now, I don't know if it was a hit in the States. I don't know how popular Adam and the Ants were.
Oh man, I was a fan. What was their
hit? The number one song in the UK on May the 18th, 1981 was Stand and Deliver by Adam and the Ants.
Ooh.
Now, Stand and Deliver is actually quite a good, this is what we're asking for. Stand and deliver.
That's a really good Adam and the Ants tune too.
Stand and deliver.
It starts with the trumpet call.
Yeah.
That was when he was still Adam and the Ants. That's before he became Adam Ant.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what happened on May the 18th. Oh, is that must be Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes.
That was 81? I thought that was late
81,
70s.
Yeah. That one I looked at didn't have anything about the Falkland War, but I'm sure the Falkland War was in that period. Maybe Dan's too young for that. Shuggy's probably too young for it as well. So, Shuggy, it's time to leave. Sorry, it was 1982. I got the year wrong.
Sorry, I was putting some Adam and the Ant lyrics. Some people are putting Adam and the Ant lyrics in the chat now. Dermot Costello says, I'm a dandy highwayman. And my favorite line in that tune was, we spend our cash on looking flash and grabbing your attention. Shiz is definitely getting a musical education, Dermot. We're trying to keep everything pre-2000 on this broadcast.
Oh, that's a bit unfortunate, because I was in Amsterdam two days after the 18th of May, 1981.
And what were you doing in Amsterdam 2 days after May the 18th?
I was watching my football team win the UEFA Cup.
That sounds like soccer, not football.
Yeah, sorry. Soccer. Round ball game. So
she's desperately.
2 days after the 18th of May, 1981, I went to Amsterdam. So I must have been planning to do, I was getting ready to do that.
Frog, can you do me a small favor?
Yeah.
First off, Shiz wants to make a Wrangler song. So anyone who would like to suggest lyric for that song, please let Shiz know. Shiz, if you would you title the song 51881? Maybe people could write lyrics around that. Merb is, Frog, would you join me in a golf clap for Merb? A very, very light clap. Golf claps for Merb. Merb's hunch was vindicated.
What was Merb's hunch?
Merb's hunch was that there was another Michael William Kaiser. And that Michael William Kaiser Wrangler, 51881 Wrangler, hooah, badge holder, 51881, that our 51881 Wrangler was using another Michael William Kaiser story or another Michael Kaiser's military story, and that the birth date floating was to drive people toward a different Michael Kaiser. That fucking Merb, sharp as a tack, man. Some of the people around him aren't so bright, but Merb himself, sharp as a motherfucker.
And who knows? Maybe there's some identity theft going on here as well.
There could be. I mean, he is a, that's what you're basically doing. Identity theft when you steal credit cards and use someone else's credit card. You are in fact stealing their fucking identity. You do have to sign their fucking name.
I mean, it is extremely rare for an incorrect date to be on a court record, especially an extensive court record like Michael Kaiser in the same court system. But we have to, God, this story has so many bloody angles.
It does.
The main angle is Broadit Wrangler needs to prove his military service. It's very easy for him to do that.
Yeah, so does fucking Dan. So does Dan at Welsh News Network with his bullshit claims.
I would like to know which unit he served in, who were his colleagues, so that I could make some inquiries, to make sure that his stories are correct. And it would be very easy for him to tell me that.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Yep. I mean,
he probably knows that I'm not likely to go down and with my shotgun and try and trespass him off his country mansion.
Just don't send your drone over his house, because he claims that he shot down a drone or two also.
That's an interest. Yeah. Again, that would be illegal. I mean, you are allowed to fly. I mean, assuming, especially if he's got a country mansion, because that's going to be out in the country somewhere.
Right.
It's not going to be over an overpopulated area. And there are lots of rules for drones here. I think they're tightening up. The Civil Aviation Authority is tightening them up even further. But the very small drones, the DJI ones that they use, I think basically you can fly them most places, so long as you don't, you avoid lots of people flying over the top of lots of people's heads. But he tells, like, you see, he talks about that as though he's an expert. Dan talks about everything as though he's an expert, where he's a fairly unintelligent. Well, he's probably not very intelligent at all, because he left school at 16 and went to the Navy.
Right.
If he's to be believed. I mean, that's again.
Well, he's a naval engineer. He knows the plug you have to take out to drain the oil. He knows to put the plug back in before filling the oil. Doesn't that qualify you as a naval engineer?
Mm-hmm.
Is it more intricate than that?
I have no idea. Probably at the lower levels, you'll have steps up of engineer. So yes, yeah.
So I just want to make it clear to everybody out there that Dan at Welsh News Network has probably had the military background information on Wrangler for a considerable amount of time, weeks, and he has.
Hang on, let's qualify that.
Okay.
Because it's possible that he's just had the date of birth, because he doesn't have the resources to actually get the military record.
Why would he chastise? Well, he's got him through Becca.
So he says.
He's got the resources to get the records through.
Oh,
Becca.
yeah. Well, he's probably got the resources to get a lot of things from Becca.
Right. Becca
over the internet, the end of a cam.
Becca has military contacts. Her husband was in the Navy. Hank is ex-Army.
Yeah,
National Guard, that shit. So Hank could have got the shit for him.
My understanding is Shuggy, and he has the right character. I mean, Shuggy's stories, I've told you before, they sound credible.
Right.
His whole accent and everything about Shuggy sounds credible. I'm not saying it's 100% credible, because I can't. But he, I believe, would have some contacts as well that could do it. But
why the fuck?
But Shuggy has no fucking common sense.
Obviously, he's missing something, because he probably doesn't have a pair of fucking balls on him, because he sits there and let Dan tell outrageous fucking stories about military service without fucking questioning anything.
He's a perfect example of someone who was probably intelligent but no fucking common sense.
Right. Or just too afraid to fucking cross Dan or ask a fucking pertinent question, because you'll be done after that.
And if I'm wrong, Shuggy, just reply to my DM. Let's have a. Coded has offered. Coded has offered a chat with you. You're even scared of just talking to someone. You're even scared of just replying to a DM.
Right. He hasn't replied. I sent him a DM, asked him I've never got a response on a DM to him.
I mean, it's well. Where are we going now, Coded?
I'm going to wrap it up, because I do have to work today. I just want to let the people out there listening know that I do strongly believe that Dan has had all the information necessary for weeks, if not months, to expose Wrangler. What he chose to do with the information was to extort or use the information he had on Wrangler to pressure Wrangler into a scheme specifically targeted at discrediting Shiz and discrediting myself. Shiz having documented all the times that Dan had actually stated that he had a source at the FBI, or that the FBI was his source. And Dan's little axe to grind with me was I blew up his legal fund grift when he claimed he was going to file a defamation lawsuit against Chile, which, once he wasn't able to raise legal funds, you never heard a fucking word about it again unless I bring it up. There's no Dan suing Chile for defamation. That's all fucking bullshit. That was a scam to raise money. Hey, Dan, you've done how many of these 1 month fucking lottery drawings, encouraging people to send a super chat or a PayPal donation to get an entry into a raffle for, refurbished electronics.
That is illegal.
Absolutely illegal.
You are breaking the law. Okay, it's a minimal crime, but you are breaking the law.
He's breaking the law in Wales. He's breaking the law in the United States.
Wherever it's breaking the law, unless they're lying about where they are and they're in. We've got a little offshore state here. It's on an old Napoleonic fort, I think it was first built. He could be on there, outside all jurisdictions, because basically we've no idea where Dan really is.
Dan's on the fucking dole in government council housing somewhere. Yeah. The Welsh law is you can have a lottery.
But you need to get a license.
There's all kinds of paperwork. The step around the license is if you do it for charity, you don't have to do the permitting and shit. That's why Dan is, quote unquote, donating the proceeds to charity. But under Welsh law, the lottery has to sell a physical ticket, and the lottery drawing must be done in the presence of the ticket holders at a physical location, and it is expressly forbidden to sell tickets online. Dan's breaking the fucking law. And Dan, when have you ever shown a receipt that proves you're donating this money to charity, which is a constant fucking criticism you have of Chile de Castro?
I did get, hang on, you sent me, let me look it up. There was a GoFundMe, the WNN charity fundraiser for Mission 22.
Yeah.
Which raised $1,390.
Mm-hmm. Now, as Dan has always said about Chile, why didn't you just set up a straight link to Mission 22? Why did WNN have to touch the money? You could have promoted and put a direct link to Mission 22. And you critique Chile for that all the fucking time, Dan. Dan's interest in reviewing Chile is learning Chile's grifting methods, because Dan's employing every grifting method that he critiques Chile for.
Now, it would appear on face value from GoFundMe, I'm assuming the charity, it's a registered non-profit, Elder Heart Inc., DBA Mission 22. So I'm assuming that probably did end up with its charity. So, but he's sort of, we've done that one, but we don't get any money doing it that way. Let's find another way. But that one made us look good.
Right.
Fraudit Reaper. Fraudita Reaper. I don't know. Chicken woman.
Yeah, Fraudita Reaper.
She did a video yesterday. Strange that she's been quiet for all these months with information and hasn't decided to put it out. She knew about the scams, but she just kept quiet. That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, because I think Wranglers' earliest appearances on YouTube are on Frauditer Reaper's channel. Frauditer Reaper's the one that gave Dan all the fucking dirty information on Wrangler.
So someone just sent me a message, and I've only just seen it. And he said, and I read it first. It's Malvinas, and I read it, and I thought Malvinas. And then I realised he's talking about what some Argentinians call what is truly a British colony. I think the only one left now.
Nice.
But the British do believe in the right of people for self-determination now, and the people of the Malvinas choose to remain a British colony.
Yeah, why would you? Why? I mean, it's detrimental to get to. If
Sorry,
you're that.
there is another one, Gibraltar. I forgot Gibraltar, but that's,
Yep.
That's a,
Well, it's kind of detrimental to you to walk away from the British system if you're small, because the British government does provide a wealth of fucking resources, and you got to come up with your own financing, you got to raise tax money. It's something that's difficult, a lot more burdensome on the small scale than if you're involved with a bigger bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the places you mentioned aren't self-funding. I'm sure there's funds coming from other more populated, heavier taxed regions.
And she definitively said that Michael William Kaiser doesn't have any children.
Yeah, I don't believe he does. I believe
well. I think there might be something on the court record. He may be disputing whether he's the father of a child, but I think there might be something regarding child support on there.
I will take a closer look at that.
That obviously wasn't prime objective. The prime objective, as I said, found this out all by accident. I just wanted to know where his current case was. Where are we? And we're still as we were when Dan reported on his case, that he's still, awaiting trial on 5 felony charges. But he's a good guy. You should give him your money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you believe Wrangler, go ahead and throw your fucking money away.
Yeah, if you're that stupid, if you still can't see the trees and you think it's just some witch hunt against someone because he's on this side and I'm on that side and someone's on the side, it's not that. Look at the people who have, Merb isn't on any side, but he's gone out against your boy, hasn't he?
My boy,
not your boy, but I'm talking to the people who are supporting them.
Right.
You can't accuse Merb of being on any side.
Oh, no. Merb definitively is on my side on every issue, whether I'm right or wrong. Just ask Merb. He'll tell you. Merb backs me 100% no matter what I say.
I don't like the guy, but he does good legal analysis.
You don't like Merb?
Well, I watch him. Does that mean I like him?
I don't know. I like Merb. I think
I don't know, because of course I've never met Merb in person. So who knows? You don't know, do you?
I like Merb. I'm still on the fence about his legal advice, though. I don't know if that's really worth anything. But Merb as a person, I like him.
I think his attacks can sometimes go beyond what they need to. But
I don't know. I talked about it. I got merbed. It was a mild merbing, but I got merbed. And
he did merb you. Yeah, he did merb you.
He merbed me. He totally merbed me. Mm-hmm. He merbed me so bad he went with your mom jokes. But
I learned very early on that you will probably never win an argument against Merb. He's a skilled mooter, we would call it here.
Frog, Merb says he likes you and you've made him sad.
Well, that's what I would expect him to say. Yes.
Look, people, when I talk about it,
I think that I can respect a lot of what Merv says, and he a lot of the times he comes from the right place. But we all have flaws.
Merv said he would buy you a gin and tonic, Frog.
Well, I'd probably buy him, if I was in I don't know. I don't know if he's in mid California or Northern California. He's somewhere there. I mean, they did doxing once upon a time, his place of work, but didn't affect Merv. Doxing doesn't really affect anyone, as far as I can see. It does affect the odd person, but if I was in that area, I would definitely look him up, I think.
Oh, look. Wait, Merb says I went with a your mom joke before Merbing you. Okay, that's cool. I don't know if it was so much of a joke as you said you had your dick in my mom's mouth. That was a little too fucking far, dude. I'm still waiting on the apology, but I know it's never going to come. Too far, too fast, bro. Too far, too fast.
Wrap it up, because I've got to reminisce about my trip to Amsterdam on the I've lost it.
On the let me guess. May 18th, 1981. You were in Amsterdam.
No, it was 2 days after that. I was preparing for it.
Ah, got you.
May the 20th, but on May the 18th, I was really looking forward to going on a boat to Amsterdam.
And that was in the year 1981, correct?
Correct.
Sweet. Yeah. All right, we are wrapped up. I'm going to bring up the outro tune. Merb, thanks for being here. Thanks for letting us poke fun at you. Merb, I love you, bro. I'm so fucking happy I got Merbed by you. And when I talked about it, people just started sending me messages about how they got Merbed too. I think it's a badge of honor. I've been Merbed. Everybody have a great day today. Hold on. Merb has one more thing to say about my mom. The dick was too far and too fast in your mom's mouth. Okay, my man.
I'll tell you what, that dick has been around.
I know. He did afterwards say that my mom would need antibiotics. So I don't think Merb discriminates where he puts his cock.
No, I think he said the other day, if what's his name, broken system, broken trust.
If he was offering
$5, he was a taker.
$4 blowies behind the dumpster at Wendy's. Merb was all over that.
Yeah. Good night.
All right, anything else to say, Frog?
No. Good night.
I'm bringing it up. Good night, everybody.
Done.
Remember,
happy 18th.
Happy 18th of May, 1981. Remember, Wrangler is a scumbag grifter, and Dan, Welsh News Network, quite possibly is the motivating force behind a scheme to discredit Shiz. What a scumbag you are, Dan. All right, we are done. Here we go. In with Van Morrison, out with the Stones, a outtake from the Tattoo You album, which came out in 1981. I'm not sure if it was May the 18th of 1981, but they were definitely on tour at that time. Here we go. Have a good day, guys. See you when we see you. Oh, my browser's having trouble sharing my video. I'm going to kick you. I'm going to drop that. We're going to try it one more time. One more time. See if we can get that rolling. Oh, it won't play. Wow, damn it. Oh, I still have Frog here. Frog has been kicked. Sorry about that, Frog. One more attempt. Otherwise, we're going to hear Van Morrison on the way out again. I don't have a Purple Heart says I took a shite on May the 18th. I hope that was in 1981. One more try with this outro video. Not coming up. Well, I brought you in with Van Morrison, the Philosopher's Stone. I'm going to take you out with Van Morrison, the Philosopher's Stone, unless this video refuses to work also. Here we go.
In the byways, all alone. I'm still searching for my home. Up in the morning, out on the road. Yeah, my head is aching, yeah, my hands are cold, and I'm looking for the silver lining in the clouds. And I'm searching for the philosopher's stone. And it's a hard road, daddy-o. When my job is turning lead into gold. It was born in the back street, Jelly Roll. I'm on the road again and I'm searching for the philosopher's stone. Can you hear that engine? Oh, can you hear that engine drone? Well, I'm on the road again and I'm searching for the philosopher's stone. Up on the morning, when the streets are white with snow. It's a hard road, daddy-o. Up in the morning, out on the job. Well, they've got me searching for the philosopher's stone. Even my best friends, they don't know that my job is turning lead into gold. When you hear that engine, when you hear that engine drone, I'm on the road again and I'm searching for the philosopher's stone. It's a hard road, even my best friends, they don't know. And I'm searching for the philosopher's stone.
All right, kids, adios. Download this video. I fully expect it to be privacy struck. Later for you.